I wonder if you've ever been lost, or at least not known exactly where you were and how you were ever going to get back home. Well, this is a story about a walk we had once, a long time ago. I was quite young at the time. It's a true story involving our Easter Monday walk with lots of the people in Sandyford church, and included Mr. Philip, our minister, and his wife. There were lots of people on it. Peter had organised it, a round walk at Araker, well, about 2 or 3 hours in total. We went in cars and we parked in the woods in the car park. The path was good up the side of the loch and the sun was shining. There was a slight incline up to the bend in the path, a point where we all ate our packed lunches and shared whatever we had, just enjoying the day. After lunch, Peter pointed out that around the bend you walk to the river and then up the path a slight climb over the top of the hill and then down to the car park. It would only be a little bit longer than going back down the path the way they'd come. Most decided that they would just return back down the path the way they'd come. Others decided to trust Peter that it would only be a slight climb and a little longer, and then we'd all meet in the car park again. Off we set, round the bend, straight into a thick bed of mud. No way round it. Had to do our best. Big Mark from the boys' club lost his trainer, which had to be dug out before going any further. No sign of the river though. However, there was some sort of a path. However, our esteemed leader assured us that we should keep on and on and on and on, and eventually we reached the river. There was indeed a path by the river, not a good path, but a steep, windy, stony path. It was hard going, and after much panting and puffing, and in one case pushing and pulling, we all reached the top of the path. At the top of the path, we met 3-foot deep snow, and that stretched on and on up to the top of the hill, or the mountain. Walking in 3 foot of snow can be fun, but not after hours of walking and upwards. However, having come this far, we had no choice but to keep going. As you can imagine, there was no sign of a path under the snow. Having got to the top, the view was lovely. However, no time to stand and stare. It was cold, and although the sun was still shining, we still had to get back down. We ploughed down through the snow, the trees, and at last got to the car park. Everyone else had gone home by now, as it was many, many, many hours later. The lesson, my friends, is this: never trust someone who thinks they know the way, and especially if his name is Peter. Last week we heard about how Jesus was talking to his disciples because they were troubled about what he had been telling them. He had been saying that he was going away and that he would die, and they didn't really understand him, and they didn't really want to listen to this. Jesus told them that they were to believe in him no matter what had happened to him, and what he was saying to them was to have hope in him and trust him. Then Jesus says, I am the way, the truth and the life. He tells them that he just doesn't think that he knows the way, that he actually is the way. Jesus says, you can trust me with your life because I give true life. I am the only one who can do this. Today we hear so many people telling us so many different things about how to live and the way to live. But Jesus says that he is the way, the truth and the life. And we need to take Jesus at his word. There is no one else like him. He's the only way to God. Jesus is the only one to be truly trusted. He means what he says. There's nothing fake about his words or the life he gives. The road might turn out to be like our walk that day, up and down and hard going. We might not be too sure of the way ahead at times, but unlike Peter, our leader, Jesus always knows where we're going and how to get there. Jesus says, believe in me, trust me with your life, and I will be with you at all times. And no matter what it takes, I will get you home. You can depend on me.